that Estonia, the Ministry of Climate, they propose the Climate Resilient Economy Act and also Energy Sector Development Plan. Because Estonia, they want to ensure preservation of nature, growth of clean energy, and a space for growth for industry. So let's set a target by 2050. They plan to achieve the climate neutrality. And do you know why it's so important? Because our global temperature is rising. So do you have any idea that which year in Earth the average temperature is cooler than previous year? That was 47 years ago, which means that every year become warmer and warmer. So 2023 was the world's warmest year on record. And so I believe that this year, 2024, we're getting worse. We'll break another record. So a very stunning image is that a starving polar bear unable to hunt due to melting ice. So we need to do something. We need to take action. This is why that for Taiwan, our country, that 2050 net-zero transition, we want to cooperate with the whole world, with more than 100 countries for net-zero future together, because we are facing climate emergency, because we want the net-zero emission is an international trend. And so this is our milestone. Starting from 2021, that our President Chai declared the vision. And our Premier Su legislated. And then 2022, we promulgate the so-called Taiwan's Paceway, and also the 12 key strategies. So recently, our President William Lai just established our National Climate Change Response Committee with our Deputy Prime Minister Zheng Lijun, Academia Sinica President Liao Junsi, and Pekatron Chairperson Tong Zixian will lead the team. Because it's a national perspective and require transnational cooperation. So that's why our President emphasized that the 2050 is no longer just an idealistic proposal. It's not only a slogan, but it's something inevitable and require comprehensive strategy. And according to Ministry of Environment, according to the survey, it's a global GHG inventory. You know, GHG means greenhouse gas emission that keep rising after pandemic. But how about Taiwan? So the latest year is about the 285. We should call it 1 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, but with 20 carbon sink offsetting, so we'll get a number of 264. Okay, so not so bad, because compared to the base year of 2005, that it decreased a little bit. But some people worry that if we cut GHG, will it hurt our economy? So based on another statistic that, for example, Taiwan here, right? Our GHG down, decrease, but our GDP keep rising. So it's a good sign that it being decoupling. So Taiwan will rank top, right? Globally, according to the table, only second to Finland. It's not bad, right? But don't be too happy too early, because we still have a long way to go. So based on our national long-term roadmap for GHG reduction, that we are here now, right? 263, is 1 million metric tons, right? And by 2030, we need to deduct 20%. But by 2050, we need to become net zero emission. So still a long way battle for everyone to conquer, to work together. And so it's very difficult, but we have our plan. So according to our central government, we set up the so-called 2050 net zero emission plan. First, the non-electricity sector, no matter it's an industrial, manufacturer, commercial, residential building, transportation, etc. And we needed to decrease step by step. And for the electricity, the energy sector, because we know that the demand for electricity getting higher and higher. And for example, the AI, the so-called computing power, need so much energy. So this is why we need to decarbonize electricity. We need to provide renewables, hydrogen, gas, CCUS, pump storage, and also bioenergy. And by the way that we need to produce more carbon sinks on forest, soil, ocean, CCUS, and require international cooperation. So to be honest, that the so-called net zero, we should say it will be total neutrality. And then our central government, we revised the Greenhouse Gas Management Act and right now become a Climate Change Response Act. And in this act that there are 7 chapters and 63 articles. And it will serve the legal framework for the climate change adaptation, reducing and managing greenhouse gas emission with all kinds of such as residential, commercial building, manufacturing, agriculture, environment, transportation, and energy. Needed to coordinate. So the 6 major sectors need to cooperate with each other because we want to toward the goal by 2050 become net zero. But it's not easy because we still have a lot of things to do, such as our new building, public, should be energy efficiency, class 1, and the 30% of the cars there are electric, and all urban public buses in the future are electric. It's by 2030. And we need to provide more wind and solar power capacity. And so by 2050, okay, do you see here? 100% new building and over 85 existing building. It kind of impossible, right? So we needed to urban renewal to go together to achieve the goal. And so this is our Taiwan net zero transition with the 4 strategies: the energy, industrial, lifestyle, social transition, and also 2 foundations such as the technology R&D, the net zero technology, negative emission technology, and also the climate legislation, regulation and policy, carbon pricing, and green finance. In our central government, the Council of National Development, they propose the so-called 12 key strategies, such as wind, solar, PV, photovoltaic, and hydrogen, innovative energy, power system, energy storage, energy saving, efficiency, carbon capture, utilization storage, carbon-free electric vehicle, resource recycle and zero waste, carbon sinks, green lifestyle, green finance, and just transition. And so our Ministry of Environment, they also promote the so-called green lifestyle. And so they just encourage all our citizens need to take eco-friendly action in order to help government agency, private enterprise, etc. So for all aspects, such as green travel, green dining, green consumption, green home, and a green office. And then, because I come from Taipei, so I need to talk something about Taipei. And we know Taipei is the capital city of Taiwan, and we have 2.5 million population, Taipei city, but for Taiwan, we have a 23 million population. But how about compared to Estonia, which we are going to visit? Our population density is much higher. And we have much more vehicle than Estonia. Okay, so for Taiwan and Taipei, on the Earth Day, April 22nd in 2021, Taipei City announced we want to take responsibility for the carbon reduction for Paris Agreement to achieve the goal of net zero emission by 2050. So this is our pathway, our roadmap. For Taipei, currently we are about 10 million compared to the island-wide 263 that we are 10 million. But by 2030, we are going to deduct 40%. By 2040, deduct 65% to make the pathway net zero by 2050 under the leadership of our Taipei City Mayor, Wang Zhang. And so we need to analyze the structure of the carbon emission. For example, that for the electricity carbon emission, 75% come from the commercial and the residential, and 20% come from transportation, and 3% come from environment, for example, waste, etc. Okay, so for Taipei City government, we are the first city in Taiwan to propose our self-government ordinance for the management of net zero emission. We enacted in 2022, 2 years ago. But after 2 years of review from our central government for negotiation, and eventually we promulgate July. So with 7 chapters and 54 articles. Okay, so it will officially take effective next year. And so to implement the narrow pathway, the carbon reduction tied into law, construct legal foundation, and we have 8 major strategies, such as carbon removal, green energy, conserve energy, green transportation, reduce waste, carbon sink, adaptation, and sustainability. But do you have any idea? We still have 24 bylaws on the way. So it's a very huge project for it to do. And by the way, in terms of climate governance, that we established our climate change response promotion conference is a committee, and hosted by our city mayor Wang Zhang. Is a quarterly meeting consisting of experts in 15 departments. And so the mission is to review bylaws of our self-government ordinance for management of net zero emission and the carbon budget, etc. And then recently, we proposed the so-called 4 major strategies for net zero transformation, such as cooling city, green transport, releasing net zero new life. And let me introduce quickly, one by one. And first one is a cooling city. And we want to make body feeling cool by adding green coverage, shadow, ventilation. And for the building energy efficiency, the new public building need meet class 1 level energy efficiency this year. And for the intensive green, we want to expand green space and urban farm. And the second one is the green transport city, return to human-oriented transport. We want to expand our U-bike station. Currently, we have 2,000. No, it will be 2026, and we're more than 27,000 U-bikes. And increase our public transportation use. We want to expand our Taipei metro network. Currently, we have 131 stations. but by 2030, we're 42 more to expanding our network. And for promote the electrification of transportation vehicle and electric bus and vehicle by 2030 is what we do. So there's some example. The seamless connection in Greater Taipei metropolitan area, the so-called T-Pass, very popular, because it only costs you 38 USD, but you can have a 1 month pass, or you can take, and including Taipei, Keelung, New Taipei, and Taoyuan. And the second one is a carbon reduction passbook. And we provide a lot of lucky draw to encourage people to take public transport. And the diverse city electricity generation program, we transform our landfill site to become a solar farm. And then we demand heavy energy users to set a renewable energy generator. And our rooftop, we encourage the solar panel installation. And the third one is a resilient city with a water resource sustainability, such as recycled water, rainfall bank, increased precipitation absorption, and the public-private participation, diversification, electricity to renewable energy to 95 megawatt by 2030. And disaster management within city, we established a disaster response cloud collaboration platform to increase urban adaptation ability. And so we want to use a renewable energy facility such as portable public toilet vehicle and such as the flexible solar panels on noise barrier on overpass expressway. And even on temples, we encourage the solar panel. And the energy saving, we give subsidy to replace the lamps, refrigerator, and the chiller, especially for the disadvantaged family. We provide more than 3,000 assistances. We reduce so much CO2, and we save a lot of energy. And the final one is our Net-zero New Life, the green lifestyle, such as green for food, clothing, housing, transportation, entertainment, education, and shopping. And the Taipei Net-zero 101, the 101 is not a Taipei 101. It means that 101 Net-zero demonstration site in 3 years with 8 strategies. And also, the citizens save electricity, so we give prize for citizens, especially for residential use. If they can save the energy more than 3%, there will higher possibility to hit the jackpot. And so before ending, that this is my boss, City Mayor Wang Zhang. And he actually, and so he just promoted, shared a lot of ideas about net zero, new life, and green lifestyle this morning. Okay, so Taipei will not be alone because we want to cooperate with such as New Taipei, such as Taoyuan, such as Kaohsiung and Yilan. We will work together. And also the central government, such as Ministry of Environment, such as Council of National Development, because we want to achieve the goal, the net zero transition by 2050. Okay, it's my presentation, and thank you for your attention, and happy Father's Day. Thank you.
非常谢谢由世民副秘书长为我们带来精彩的分享。